Hello and welcome to HITC Sport, and before we start, everyone seems to be going mad for this massive boxing event. So what is it, Wilder versus Fury? Joshua versus Klitschko? McGregor versus Mayweather rematch? Don't be ridiculous. No, instead it's some FIFA nerd with a forehead the size of Birmingham against some young fella who makes a career out of filming dead things. Oh, take my money, please! Oh, and their brothers are fighting as well. Jake, the one who clearly employs brain-dead toddlers to write his music.
It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro. I said it's every day, bro. Hold on.
Well, that was fucking dreadful.
And the other one, who evidently has been preparing for this fight by stuffing his face with custard creams every day. I'm sure there's some of you out there who's actually going to be watching this. Lads, do yourselves a fucking favor. But anyway, on to the football. Anyway, in this video, I'm just gonna run through the big football stories of the week. Let's just look through them and see if anything noteworthy happened, alright? Let's dive in. Oh, by the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, off you pop, there you go. Anyway, let's crack on. Big news of the week, Paul Pogba now, of course. I mean, who else would the media toss themselves off to on a daily basis if he wasn't around? John Flanagan? Unlikely. The media are trying to paint Pogba and Mourinho as having some sort of troubled relationship and playing it out in front of the watching world. Sort of like when the paparazzi showed the slow deterioration of that Brangelina couple. Not to speculate, but the cracks probably started to appear when Brad stopped showering sometime back in 2009, and your one started adopting kids every 6 months as if they were souvenirs from the duty free. For Pogba and Mourinho, I don't know. The latter said he was as happy as he could be with him last week. They then lost to Brighton, with Pogba turning in a performance that wouldn't have looked out of place in League 2. But anyway, Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, or as Ferguson likes to call him, the shite bag, has been piping up. Anyway, Raiola has been slamming Paul Scholes for having the temerity to criticise his client.
Some people need to talk for fear of being forgotten. Paul Scholes wouldn't recognise a leader if he was in front of Sir Winston Churchill.
We'll just pretend he didn't play alongside Roy Keane for about 15 years then. But you might think, alright, the agent is off the leash. Pogba's gonna come out, tell him to shut up. After all, he played with Scholes, he'd have a bit of respect for him. Oh no, he's gonna be a about it. Wilfried Zaha says Crystal Palace stay a no-brainer.
Baby, it's a no-brainer.
Christ no, don't make me get sick out of my fucking ears. Although, while we're here, when did Justin Bieber suddenly turn into someone that looks as though he stars in adult films as the fucking pizza guy? Actually, on second thoughts, he definitely looks like the type of guy that's worth keeping an eye on when he drives past a public school. So this story was about Zaha having signed a 5-year deal at Sellers Park, keeping him at the club until he's 30.
There was no real rush for me to move to another team. I'm at home here and I'm playing football regularly. I'm enjoying my football, so it was a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
No.
Why do I really need to move?
Interesting logic, Wilf. Why then did you send your fan base into meltdown over the summer with this? Today is the day I make a change with everything. An Instagram post with shades of a 14-year-old girl and a bit of Bruce Jenner, I'm not gonna lie. But ultimately, it came to nothing. Like, what was the point of that? You were hardly talking about getting a new f***ing haircut now, were you? Hashtag attention seeker. Not sure why I just hashtag. I feel like I need a f***ing shower after that.
Would make for a f***ing change, wouldn't it?
This room smells like a family of pigs died in here. I'm not even lying. Ah, Martin Odegaard. Remember him? He was supposed to be the best thing to come out of Norway since... I can't remember anything good to come out of Norway. Not only did he have a face that would make German dictators weak at the knees, but the playmaker was ripping up for his country before his balls had even dropped. Anyway, now he's at Vitesse Arnhem on loan, who I thought were just a rubbish dump for failed Chelsea players. Honestly, that club are so desperately attached to the Blues, you'd swear the whole thing was orchestrated by Tom Six, and if you don't know who that is, lucky you, I wasn't able to eat lasagna for a week. I'm not sure what Madrid were thinking when they gave a 16-year-old £80,000 a week back in 2015. Lads, if you gave me that sort of money when I was 16, I'd have been dead by 2010. But people have essentially wrote this fella off, claiming that he'll be painting fences by the time he's 25, or, God forbid, starting a fucking YouTube channel. Although Raheem Sterling has one, and already has more subscribers than me after 3 fucking videos. Remember a few months ago when City celebrated winning the title with this? Well, now they've only gone and topped it. Oh, if I was a City fan, I would be as proud as Punch wearing that.
You know, he could have got me a VCR, he could have got me a set of golf clubs, but no, he has to get me the woman repeller.
So it reminds me of those watches you might win in a gumball machine, or pick out of a f***ing Mackie D's Happy Meal. 80 quid for that. Let's They should be paying you to wear that. Apparently this wristband gives you the latest news, inside information, updates right on your wrist. Everything you can get on your f***ing phone. Like, am I missing something here?
You don't have to get your phone out to check things. You can actually just turn your wrist. It's there instantly.
And you also have the benefit of looking like a 5-year-old.
And it shows that City are leading the way and everybody else is following.
I'm sorry, how exactly does a fucking plastic wristband show that City are leading the way? I think you'll find the league table does that, lad. Not something your 5-year-old nephew would be embarrassed to wear.
Best thing I've ever seen for Manchester City, brilliant.
That man looks so sick of his life, it's ridiculous.
I'm a fan, I'm a citizen.
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 I'm an alcoholic. Oh, wait, shit, wrong meeting. What do you think, lads? Am I out of touch? Or is the wristband actually cool and hip? I mean, very telling that the only people actually convinced to wear the damn thing were in their 40s, where I think it's generally accepted that your relationship with the mirror is virtually non-existent, says he with a f***ing scarf, no sleeves, and a haircut that looks as though it was cut by a 4-year-old on acid. Lorius Karius. Oh, I've missed him. Not really. Lorius Karius has been sentenced to death. No. No. Lorius Karius has been sentenced to a 2-year exile to Turkey, basically, with Besiktas, on loan from Liverpool. To be fair, he did bring this on himself. And I'm not even talking about Kiev, concussion my arse, but more... Alright, I mean, you've just cost your team a Champions League final, alright? And made yourself football's biggest joke in a world where Paul McShane is still alive. You think you just get your head down and work hard over the summer to prove a point, right? Not spend your summer doing this. It's just more embarrassing the more you watch it. I'm not saying he should have spent his summer locked in a cupboard away from society. That was my summer. Like, don't do this. You know, train hard and yeah. Well, now he's off to Besiktas, but as you can see, he's the only turkey here. I said he's the only turkey here.
Haha!
Richarlison, I want to take the golden boot off Salah.
What? I want to be the top scorer of the league, take Everton back to the Champions League, and reach the Brazilian national team. And I want to wake up next to Megan Fox every morning, but that's not happening either. Jesus, you give one fella a £50 million move and he thinks he's Ronaldo.
Oh, Irish guy, you've got the transfer fee wrong again. He wasn't 50 million. How dare you?
Alright, enough out of you, alright? It's a rising fee of 50 million, so I'll say 50 million, alright? No more about it. My point is, the kid is talented, and yeah, he's made a good start to life at Everton, but he's also the same fellow who scored 5 times last season, and none after Christmas. So him threatening Salah is like Gary Rowett getting sacked at Stoke in the morning and then handing in a job application at Barcelona. Speaking of footballers talking out of their arse, Jack Rodwell.
I can play for England again as a centre half.
And this was in January 2018, when he was stuck at the foot of the championship. Rovers are delighted to confirm the signing of Jack Rodwell on a short-term deal. What they really mean is, Rovers have reached such a low ebb of desperation that they've resigned themselves to signing Jack Rodwell, a man who couldn't kick snow off a shovel. To be fair, I can't imagine too many were queuing up for Rodwell either. So really, just two desperate parties. It's sort of like just two lonely 48-year-olds with crippling diabetes finding each other on Craigslist in one last attempt at happiness before finally accepting to die alone and get eaten by their cat. Remember when football celebrations were basic, straightforward, and just normal? I mean, sure, Tim Cahill might have shown the corner flag the same respect that Floyd Mayweather did his missus. Alan Shearer at times came worryingly close to emulating the Nuremberg rallies. And Bafétimbi Gomi, well, he just looked like a student at Creamfields after half a bag of Ket. Dele Alli though, he is just taking the absolute piss. Before he was celebrating goals with a handshake that took about as long as the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Now he's challenging the world with some weird sort of finger puppet show. By the way, lads, like, I don't understand what's so hard about this. Like, it's very easy. Although the sequel, Christ above, there's a sequel to a goal celebration. That just looks like something that should be confined to a freak show. Ali, please stick to normal celebrations. It is polluting my Twitter feed. Everton players as angry birds. What world we live in at all. Theo Walcott has officially been turned into an angry bird. Just a pity he couldn't have been turned into a half-decent player. Like I don't know much about Angry Birds, lads. Like, I'm not big into the phone apps. But lads, if you really want to see some Angry Birds, just pop into a feminism rally advocating an increase in the gender pay gap. Just kidding, you won't come out alive. Anyway, that's the end of the video. There was no real purpose to it, no structure to it, just like my life. No, it was just a bit of a roundup this week, lads. Just going through the main stories of the week. I don't know. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to give it a like, share, and subscribe if you liked it. Follow me on Twitter, all that. I think that's about it. Anyway, for anyone spending their Saturday evenings watching two millionaires chuckle their way to the bank, then you have my pity. But enjoy it. I mean, I guess. Is it possible for all of them to lose? But anyway, as for me, as always, I'll talk to you in a while.